This video addresses 3 things at once: how you can improve your health, how you can cut your medical expenses in half, and having a vacation at the same time. Does that sound good to you? So let's stay tuned. I have a guest, Dr. Bernal Soto, and he will go deeper into these topics. But let me share with you how I got to that point that I interviewed him, because he is a dentist in Costa Rica. You see, I had to have major dental surgery. If I did not want to have, like dentures or something, I needed to take care of my bottom teeth right away because I had to get implants and whatnot. So I got an estimate here from a dentist in the United States, and the price tag for a whole bottom reconstruction and getting my new permanent teeth was about 50 grand. I mean, they gave me some discounts, but it still came down to $35,000. Well, not everybody has that burning in their pocket. And to be honest, most of the people don't have that kind of extra money to spend on their health, which is so sad. And especially oral health, which you will hear from Dr. Soto, is crucial to your all over health. So I was about to do it because I did have some money saved up, which I wanted to spend for other things. But of course, health was always important to me. However, a friend of mine told me about dental tourism, meaning you travel into a different country. And I looked into that, but I ended up getting a referral from a friend who is from Costa Rica. And I did my due diligence and I ended up going with them. That literally saved me half. And if you have a big bill like that, that's a lot. And at the same time, I was able to visit a new country that I've never visited before and see some of the sights, which was very exciting. So that was my experience. And I did the first trip in May, and the second, where I finally get the final things in my mouth, was in November. And at that time, I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Soto and interview him and ask him all kinds of questions. And I think that would be very helpful to you as well if you, A, have not heard of dental tourism, B, maybe have heard of it but are scared of it, because there are a lot of things out there you have to be careful about. And he addresses that as well. And then, of course, talking a little bit about the importance of overall health just by taking care of your teeth. So before we go into the show, I ask you if you just give me thumbs up and subscribe so you won't miss another episode when a new episode comes out, and share it with your friend. Right now, I'm building this channel. As you can see, on December 10th was the inauguration of this channel. So you can play a big part in growing that. So thank you so much. But now let's dive into the interview. Dr. Bernal. Bernal. Okay, I was just learning that, how you say it in Spanish. So I'm so glad that I have this opportunity to talk with you. And we'll talk about dentistry, about beautiful smiles, and about how people can actually afford getting implants and dentistry in a foreign country. So for our context here is I am currently in Costa Rica, and Dr. Bernal is my dentist, and I'm so happy about that.
Oh, thank you.
Because I have such a wonderful experience here. And as we get to know each other, I really want to pick your brain about everything dental and more. But before we go there, who is Dr. Bernal and what do you do?
Well, first of all, Well, I have 3 kids, which I think is the most important thing.
Yes.
And they're 17, 15, and 10 years old. And to be honest, I always wanted to be an architect. And somehow I ended up being a dentist, and there's no regrets at all. I mean, I really enjoy what I do. I did my master's degree in cosmetic dentistry, so I did mostly about prosthodontics, which goes like doing all the rehab on complex cases, and then also the part of cosmetic, which has to do with everything that has to do with aesthetic, with veneers, and all this, just to make like a beautiful smile. And so somehow it has to do with architect and architecture at the end. And basically, that's I love what I do, and no, I live here in Costa Rica. I like doing sports, just mostly, and enjoying nature over here in Costa Rica. So I like going to the beach, I like going to the mountains, and just to spend time with the people over here. And I think that with dentistry, it's been nice because somehow, I mean, people are coming over here to have dental work, but at the same time, I mean, they have the opportunity to visit the country and know my country, which I think has a lot of things to offer. And it's become like a very like exclusive place. I mean, mostly for nature and things like that. So at the end, it's like a mix that I really like the way we do things.
Yeah, and quite frankly, this is why I am here,
Yeah.
because of that mix. Have affordable dentistry, and at the same time, I'm at a beautiful place, and I have a little bit of vacation on the side as well. So, for my listeners to know and understand why we have this conversation, I recently got new implants, and you were a big part of it, and you were your partner who actually did the surgery part of it, because I had all my bottom teeth removed and implants to have a beautiful smile again. And so I wanted to talk about a couple things here before we go into the how people can do this and get to there, but about dentistry. What would you say is the most common mistakes people make that let them end up losing their teeth or have to have implants?
Well, it's sadly, but I mean, it's the thing. It's the concept of dentistry has changed a lot. Okay, before, all of the idea when you went to the dentist, it was only to have like mostly all of your teeth pull out, and having all of, I mean, only big restorations. And instead, the new era, the new ideas of dentistry that we have nowadays, it's to try to extend the life in the teeth as long as possible. Okay, so for that, there are a lot of procedures. But I mean, the thing is that people, because they don't have the habits, or because they are afraid of going to the dentist, because that was the thing. I mean, people are really afraid about going to the dentist because when you went over there, it was painful. They were only pulling teeth out. They were doing all of these things. So at the end, they were not solving the problem. I mean, maybe they weren't solving the problem of the pain at that moment, but they are actually making a bigger problem, because every time you lose a tooth, I mean, the rest of your teeth are going to start moving to that space. So the upper teeth are going to start going down. The other ones are going to start going to the other side. So at the end, you're even producing more problems. Even people that they have problems with headaches, back pain, balance, even with all of that, because I mean, all the muscles are involved in chewing, in the bite, and everything. When you don't have a balanced bite, then everything starts going in different ways, and at the end, you ended up having bigger problems with that. Let's not say only the huge problem that is not able to eat. When you don't have all of your teeth, I mean, that means that you're not able to chew the food or even speak good, and not able to chew the food in the right way makes your stomach to produce more acid to destroy that food. So at the end, you ended up having stomach problems, but only because, I mean, you don't have the teeth. So there are a lot of things that, I mean, people are not conscious about what teeth really work as. I mean, it's like the importance they have.
Yeah, I totally get this. And I actually just was listening to another podcast from someone talked about the microbiome in your mouth and all the if this is not balanced, all the side effects and all the diseases it can also produce. So, and I know so very well what it means losing teeth, because I grew up in an era where we didn't have that.
Yeah, of course.
There were no such thing as implants, and I didn't go to teeth cleaning. We just didn't do that.
Yeah,
so meaning I lost a lot of teeth very early on. And there's another thing I think most people underestimate, and that is gum health. For years, I had bleeding of my gums, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yep.
So it ended up, I was losing a front tooth because it had been pulled. And that was my first implant that I got, actually, because I don't want to have no teeth.
No
I was
teeth
just
left.
40 years old.
Yeah, you were really young.
That was like, oh my gosh. So now, what can people do when you said, keep your teeth as long as possible? When did it start really to have that change in perspective?
Well, I mean, it's I think it's like in the past 40 years. I mean, when people, I mean, it's like when we start having like more toothpaste and the people get more conscious about all of this. But I mean, it's like the news and the marketing and everything that has to do with toothpaste, floss, and everything. But it was not only marketing. It's like that's the most important thing, and that's when the people start creating the habit of. I mean, it's like at least brush your teeth twice a day, 3 times a day, every after meal. Avoid having like sugar or things. I mean, so all of those things. I mean, starts making those difference. I mean, so I think it's not like there was not like a date that everything started, but everything it's like being little by little. But of course, I mean, gum disease, it's something that there's 2 components over here, which is genetics. I mean, there's no doubt that, I mean, it's like sometimes it runs in the family that you have gums disease and some things. And also, I mean, different races have different problems also with gums and different things like that. So it's mostly, people are getting conscious about that. So I mean, it's like using the water pick, using the floss, using.
So what is better, flossing or water pick?
Well, I don't know if people are familiar with what a water pick is.
Mm-hmm.
A water pick, it's a device that, I mean, actually what it does, it's like it pushes water into a like strong flow of water into your gums. The good thing about the water pick, it's that it cleans and at the same time it makes like a small massage into the gums, so they keep with the flow, with the blood and everything. But one does not avoid the other one. Okay, so it's like sometimes, I mean, with the floss, you're able to go deeper, clean everything, remove it, and then end with the water pick, and that way you clean everything. But mostly, and the other thing, it's gum disease. I mean, people, they say, okay, I don't brush my teeth strong because they bleed. No, I mean, that's not the reason. Actually, if your gums are bleeding, it's because there is inflammation, there's gingivitis, or sometimes it goes worse. What happens when your gums bleed? That's because you have your gums are swollen, because I mean, there's plaque, there's tartar, there's things. So you need to go to the dentist first, to go with the regular every 6 months, every year, just at least to have the cleaning. Because I mean, doing a regular brush or something, you're not able to remove the tartar that is underneath the gum, that it's producing that. The problem with that is that maybe happening in your case, it's that when you have some tartar around that, or you have that tooth, then the bone that surrounds the tooth starts retracting. And that's when the teeth get loose.
Yeah.
So mostly that's the problem. So now that I work in this part, it's like more restoration. I always say an analogy to people that building something, I mean, it's like doing a dental work or something, it's like building a house. I mean, you need a strong basis, because it's like building a castle. If you build a castle on sand, it doesn't matter how much money you put into the amount of money into the castle, they're always going to fall down.
Right.
So you have to have very good bone quality, or at least bone that holds everything. You need to have the gums that are stable enough, and also the teeth that are left or everything, they have to be in a very good condition. So all of those things at the end work as a treatment.
And in that respect, I have to say, you did do some miracles here with your partner who did the surgery on me, because I had so much bone loss already, and I was almost, like, nobody can do anything anymore. But you were really helping me to understand, and did like finagling around to do it a special way, so that I actually was able to get those implants that helped me to have, full sets,
And a fixed denture, yeah.
Yes.
Because that's the problem. I mean, when you start losing your teeth, I mean, people, what they start using, it's removable dentures. And removable dentures, I mean, they're not comfortable at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you get, sometimes, I mean, people that get used to it, but at the same time, the removable dentures ended up damaging the other teeth in the mouth, a lot of things. So the best thing is, I mean, it's able to have something that it's fixed in all terms. I mean, to speak, to eat, to feel confidence. I mean, because even psychologically talking, I mean, having the idea that you have to remove the teeth and put your teeth, I mean, that creates a lot of anxiety. I mean, so
yes, and I totally can get that, because I have to say to my listeners, when I finally, when you get to the surgery and you get your implants, and then you have your not the permanent, the temporary in there, so you still don't see it. But once it was removed, all of a sudden you thought, oh my gosh, it's all falling in, right? It's like, oh. So I can only imagine how that is if somebody is losing their teeth and have that, and it feels uncomfortable with the dentures. They take it out, and then they look like their great grandmother or father.
Yeah, of course.
So that definitely, especially if you're younger, and we are living longer.
Of course,
so you want to have that healthy smile. So medical tourism is very popular. More and more people from the United States are traveling abroad to get their dental work done and other procedures. So when did it start here, or for you? How long have you been working this tourism?
Actually, dental tourism in Costa Rica, it's like Costa Rica has a very good healthcare system. So it's been for a long time, the public healthcare system is very, very good. So I think that positioned Costa Rica in a higher way to compete with other countries. And then we have high technology in the country. So it's, Costa Rica has like a lot of the hard things that from the valves. They have a lot of, all of these products actually they're made here in Costa Rica. So as a country that's very technologically, it's bringing a lot of people interested into what medical can bring to our options. Due also to the fact that the cost is much, much lower. And I always try to explain this. It's because, and it works in all the ways. It's sometimes you have to compare apples to apples and bananas to bananas when talking about medical tourism. Because people, the idea, sometimes people say, okay, you're going over there to have cheap dentistry. And well, that's not what you're getting. The idea is you're getting high quality material with the top materials, with the top brands, with everything over there that you're getting in a high quality clinic in the United States, and you're receiving the same treatment over here and performed by specialists that have like all the degrees and everything to do that. So that's when medical tourism people they start coming over here. They see that they get this wonderful work, and it has to do also not only in dental. It's like knee surgeries, bariatric surgeries, cosmetic surgeries, lots of things that people are coming to the country to start getting that. But the highest right now it's dental, because it's we are able to provide the people with high quality dental treatments with a lower cost that you can get in the States.
Yeah. And I can only imagine for many people, they don't have the means to afford any of those major dental work in the United States. But it comes closer, it's possible for them to travel to another country. So how do you distinguish between which is the best for you? But most importantly, because it seemed to become a business in and of itself, there are a lot of companies that are doing the consultations and finding others. So how can I be assured that I go to a good doctor and not one of those
No, of
that say, like one of the cheap?
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to find things like that, and I think that it makes a huge difference. I mean, first of all, you have to start taking a look. I mean, ask. I mean, what in our cases, what we do, it's like we've been working with, I've been working in medical tourism, as I told you, I mean, it's like 17 years with all of this. So I have a lot of patients. So usually what I like also is to get involved with my patients. So I give my patient, I mean, the people that are just asking, I mean, call these patients and they can also tell you about their experience. I think, and in my case, mostly all of my patients, they come from word of mouth. I mean, it's like referred by other patients. Even though we do a lot of marketing, I mean, it's the way that sometimes we get patients. But I think I mean, it's mostly all of my clients are coming from referrals. From
Yeah,
other
I
patients.
came from a referral.
Yeah, you came from a referral.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. I said,
And-
okay, and then I still did my due diligence.
No, of course, and you have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's like just getting you referred to a place doesn't avoid you that you will have any issues or things like that. But and they're like things that I mean starts making small difference. In my case, I mean, they're like big clinics over here which work very good for dental tourism and things. In our office, our idea is more to be more like a boutique clinic. I mean, we try to make everything easier for the patient. We don't like, I mean, we don't like to become in a teeth factory, saying it that way. I mean, we just want to have like more cozy place where the patients become more friends, that people, the patients feel part of our group or a team or something.
It's almost like
And
family.
It's well, that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's I
yeah.
always said we have to be grateful for our patients because I mean they're coming first to a country that creates a lot of anxiety. I mean, you're coming to a place where you don't know the country, you don't know the language, you don't know the doctors, and you're putting yourself into a healthcare into someone that you don't know who's going to treat you. So at the end, I mean, for us, we have to be grateful that people are really trusting themselves. I mean, to put their health in our hands. And I think it's a huge commitment. I mean, it's a huge commitment in our hands. And so just knowing that people are having all of this, I mean, that's what we try to do. I mean, always we try to have a conference call with the patients face to face. Because I think that's the first icebreaker. I mean, when you are able to talk to the doctors, see it on yourself, I mean, talk one to another, try to solve all the questions that you have, because I mean there's a lot of doubts, there's a lot of questions in your head, there are a lot of things, or I heard this, I read this, because most of the people, what they do, I mean they start going online and they're just checking things over here. But at least I mean in our case, Costa Rica itself has a huge, there's like the government actually, which is ProMed, which is a company that actually what they do is that they certify that the clinics go through the whole process. So there is, I mean, and then we are in a group that we have like 9 clinics, which are called Litten Clinics Costa Rica. And one of the things about Litten Clinics Costa Rica is that we went through the whole process about materials, doctors, they check the clinic, they check everything. I mean, just to guarantee that the treatment that you receive are high quality dental treatments.
And one thing I want to say too is I went through that process to say, okay, who is this? And the first person I talked to was Lori. And she was just fabulous because she really put me at ease. And then she also answered all the questions. And then we had a conference call, right? And what I liked about it, it was like, we've never been to Costa Rica. I don't speak Spanish. But we didn't have to worry about it. We were picked up at the airport and brought into our Airbnb where we stayed. So, and we had that connection with Lori. It was just wonderful. And then also when I met you, it was everything was great, and I felt comfortable. I really did, and I can say you went, beyond and above. So, or above and beyond. Here we go.
No,
See,
but
I still work on my
Yes.
English, right?
We all do, constantly.
So I can be a testimony to that. That really makes a big difference. So, do you charge American patients differently than you charge
No,
your
Costa
people
Ricans
here?
was no. We have a same flat rate. Yeah, there's no different prices from the States to the patients over here.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, it's like at the end, I mean, people are going to sit down in the waiting room and they're going to talk to each other. Or at least, I mean, you have a friend, or then you have someone over here talking, and then you're going to refer it over here. And they say, well, but why is it that I pay this and you pay for that? And that's not ethical. So
Yeah,
it's-
no.
So it's so unethical. So, I mean, it's no. I mean, our rates
And
is the
I'm not
same.
saying that for you, but
No,
I
but
just
it's-
wanted to
No,
make
but
sure
it's
that's
good.
a question.
No, it happens over here. I mean, it's that. I mean, I know there are other places that I mean because you're coming from other. I mean, they're going to charge you more, and it's
yeah.
not in our clinic. And it's something that it's people always have that doubts, and it's not. I mean, the prices are always the same.
What are wisdom tooth? What is a wisdom tooth?
A wisdom tooth are the last molars that we get. So actually, that's the before. I mean, it's like it's starting to change. I mean, it's like before we always had like 3 molars in the back, and the bones structurally were bigger because I mean the food was raw and they have to bite more, chew more, and everything. So we needed more teeth to do that. Now that I mean it's like evolution has changed that. So that's the reason why people are having more issues now with wisdom tooth than they had it before, because the bone structure it's smaller. So now there's no space for the wisdom tooth to come out. So they just stay over there holding in the bone. Some people, like in my case, I was lucky that I had enough bone to make them grow up. But some people, I mean, so that's where sometimes we have to do surgeries to remove those wisdom teeth that are like, I mean, staying inside of the bone.
Yep, I had them all removed. I tell you, from young age, I always had troubles with teeth. So really, we don't need them anymore, right?
No, I mean it's
Yeah.
no, there's something I mean over there.
Maybe eventually through evolution we don't have them anymore.
No, actually it's happening right now. I mean it's like they're people that I mean they're born without wisdom teeth.
Oh.
And or they're like much smaller, or people that they have just 1 or 2 but not the 4. So it's already evolution, it's changing in that time.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
So we are in Costa Rica, which is also one of the countries that produce coffee.
Yeah.
I am a coffee drinker, so I like that. But does coffee has an impact on our oral health?
No, I mean it's well the only thing it stains your teeth, as red wine does, but I mean as a problem in the, I mean on your teeth, it doesn't produce any effect on your teeth. I mean it's only besides the stains and everything. So you can have the coffee, but I mean brush your teeth after that, and that way at least I mean you're able not to have the caffeine or something and it's like the sticky things in your teeth to stain it.
Yeah. When does it start with implants? When were the first implants?
No, I mean it's and that's the other thing. I mean people they always have the idea that because we are old, just the fact that you're old, you have to lose all of your teeth. I had a patient that she died when she was 113 years old.
Wow.
And actually she was an aunt of mine, and she died with all of her teeth in her mouth.
Whoa, that's amazing.
And but I mean she had, I mean my great grandmother gave her the ability, I mean it's like she teach her to take care of her teeth. So actually my grandfather and her, she was my grandfather's dad, my grandfather's sister, they both died with almost all of her teeth in her mouth and with high age. So that's a fact. I mean, it has to go with genetics, but at the same time, I mean, it's like they have a very good habits about visiting the dentist, having dental cleanings, having everything. So that's the thing. I mean, people think that because I get old, I have to have an implant or I start losing my teeth. It happens in a lot of things. I mean, it's like sometimes it's an accident. I mean, sometimes people they fell, and then we have like small kids that they just lose a teeth, and then we have to wait. Actually, when the boy or the girl it's totally grown up to be able to place the implant, because mostly the bones and the structure and everything are going to change.
Yeah.
But then my idea and our concept always is to go with minimal invasive dentistry. So what does that mean? I mean, it means that when there's no need to do a hole or to do something, I mean, we don't have to do it in a tooth, okay? Sometimes, I mean, there are cavities. If you see that a patient has a very good dental habits and they take care, if there's like a small cavity, sometimes I prefer just to leave that cavity over there and just keep watching it and see if it goes deeper or not. But it all depends on each patient, okay? You know, some patients, sometimes you have a patient with a small cavity. And same thing that we were just talking. I mean, the bacteria, the things, I mean, they have in their mouth are so aggressive that, I mean, sometimes they destroy the tooth really, really fast. Or also medications. When people have medications, sometimes, I mean, your acid changes everything. So all of those things actually has to get involved in tooth care. I mean, so it's sometimes it's not only the patient's fault. Sometimes it's like the whole things that you get. So
it's like with everything, you have to holistically look at everything, and to that fact, your great-grandfather and sister, they grew up in a time where food was actually food and not so processed.
Not so processed, of course.
And today's world, I mean, everything is processed, and we have so much more sugar.
Totally.
All of that has something to do, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, beverages with sugar.
Yeah.
We have lots of things that have a lot of sugar, and the kids, I mean, they're just getting lots of food. I mean, and they don't have the habit of just brushing their teeth constantly, using, I mean, even the floss. Using the floss is something that the kids are not used to. I mean, it's something that you get used to it. Once you start going, you grow, and then you go to the dentist and you have to use it. And nobody, I mean, it's like, it's rare that a patient uses in regular basis the floss every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know. But I use the one every day.
I don't like using it every day, but I mean, I have to do an extra effort to use it. But well, and I know it's
so
good.
How about those mouthwash? I heard different takes on it. It's like, well, it destroys the good bacteria in your mouth when you do too many mouthwash. So, what is your take on that?
They're different. I mean, the other thing is that you cannot put like all the mouthwash in the same family. There are mouthwashes for everything, actually. They're like, I mean, from bad breath, which is called halitosis, or to like sometimes you have your enamel is really weak, so there are like other products that they were going to make it stronger. There are another ones with fluoride, or there are other ones for gum disease. Okay, so they're like different. I mean, there are like all those that it's like, some of them, they're not sell over the counter. Some of the other ones are sell over the counter. And the other ones, I mean, it's like those that you find that they involve a lot of things, like for plaque, for cavities, for everything. They're good. I mean, it's they won't make like bad or good. I mean, it's like they won't destroy anything. And somehow, I mean, it will help to kill some of the bacteria to get into the parts that usually, like the cleaning. It's like I mean, but it does not. I mean, it's like it's a complement for dental health or for cleaning. Okay.
Should you use it every day?
You can use it every day without a problem. Yeah. I mean, the only ones that you have to be more careful are the ones that are for gum disease, because I mean those they might have a product which is called chlorhexidine that it goes if it has like higher levels beyond 0.12%. I mean, it's like they only have to be they're really really good, but you only are able to use it for periods of time, because after that then you can start getting like black stains on your teeth or something, and that's people they don't know that.
I know.
So people then they come over and say, hey, I have like these black stains in my teeth, and it's because of the mouthwash that they're using, that it has like products that produce like a plaque inside in front of your teeth to protect them, but at the same time absorbs the pigments from the food and everything. So
I
that's
see.
really good.
Wow. So this was really, really eye-opening and interesting conversation. So many things we don't know. We have to be educated.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in our part, I mean, it's like what we do a lot, and it's there are like lots of treatments that people they don't know. I mean, it's like, well, in our case, I mean, it's like say I get lots of patients in the area of cosmetics that people, I mean, it's like all of this people that they had like lots of plastic surgeries just to try to get back to what they had, and they never realize it's their smile that has changed.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things involved into that. I mean, it's like that's why we do the digital design smile. In our case, it's like we just scan everything in our clinic. Everything is digital. You notice
Yeah.
that. So I mean, it's like not those impressions that are bad that make you gag and everything. So like the design smile. I mean, the veneers, all of these things. People they don't know that, and it's like, I mean, when we get older, I mean, of course, everything. I mean, our teeth they get stained, they get shorter. Our lips, the muscles start falling. So every time as we get older, we show less our teeth, the upper teeth. And it's funny. I mean, it's when you see people that they had all of these surgeries, and only when you do like a veneers or something, and you change their smile, it's like their face just glows up. And say, hey, this is what I was looking for. And then I, knowing this in advance, I wouldn't go with all of the surgeries that I had before. But I mean, it's like, or even, I mean, sometimes you have stains with, I mean, people that they feel that, I mean, the teeth are not straight enough. I mean, nowadays we have the aligners, which were perfect. I mean, you don't have to go with, not for all the cases, but some specific cases, you can use aligners, which you don't have to go with fixed braces over there just to make all of the teeth align and everything. So there are a lot of things that actually in dentistry has, it's an evolution. It's amazing.
Is there an age limit when you can align your teeth?
No, there's not.
Oh, so you can do it at any time?
You can do it at any time. I mean, the only thing that might change the possibilities is if you have some implants. Because I mean, remember the rest of the teeth are gonna move. That implant is gonna move.
Yeah.
And sometimes even we do, because sometimes we do aligners before we do our whole oral rehab. I mean, why? Because I mean, sometimes I don't like to overgrind teeth. So we just try to put all the teeth aligned, so we get aligned teeth, but ugly aligned teeth.
Yeah.
So at the end, we have to do veneers, or we have to do the thing with veneers. I like it's because a veneer is like
what are veneers? Can you explain?
Veneers, it's yeah. I mean, there are like two types. I mean, it's like the minimal restoration that we do in the teeth, because it's always, let's say it's like a contact lens. So it's something that it's we just grind a little bit the front part of the teeth, also the bottom, and that way we just put like a porcelain layer on the front of it. Let's say it's like a contact lens that changes the shape, the color, the length, everything of the tooth, so they will look nice. So it's just to make them nice. The crown, it's like the second part of the veneer, but in those cases we have to grind the front and the back part. So the crown covers the whole tooth, but it's always the tooth. I mean, you still have the root, you have everything, but it's only the crown that is changing. And we do it also sometimes because the teeth are really rotten, or sometimes because we just need to do, I mean, just to protect the teeth, or we have to do full mouth restorations. Because I mean, even with patients that are grinders, I mean, we have lots of cases over here.
My husband is a grinder.
Yeah, oh, your husband is a grinder, of course. And that's what happened. I mean, they grind all of their teeth, they just get with small teeth, and they're all flat. So we need to restore that. Actually, we have to go back to get the dimension that they had before, because also the muscles and everything are really contracted and everything.
Yeah.
So with that, we just start working, restoring all of that, and that way we're able to replace the teeth the way they, well, not the way they were before, because we're trying to make them look nicer.
Yeah.
So we make like nice crowns, we change the color, we change everything, but I mean, it changes a lot.
Yeah.
And then the other possibility, it's like sometimes if you have your teeth in between and you're gonna do things like that, I mean, we can do bridges. So bridges, it's also to replace missing teeth, but with a fixed bridge, something that you're not able to remove or something, but it's gonna be attached to two natural teeth on your mouth.
Yes. Talk about root canal for a second, because I had a lot of root canals done when I was younger, but those are the teeth I lost. So, can you say something to that effect? Should people do a root canal?
No, sure. I mean, root canals are a very good option. I mean, into the teeth. The only thing is that a root canal, it's something that has to be performed by a very good professional. And that's what makes, well, that's everything in dentistry, okay? But I think that if there is a specialty in dentistry that has to be very, very careful with what we need, it's root canals, because I mean they have to be very meticulous. They have to have a very good technology with microscopes. They have to have the ability also to be working patients and everything, remove all, clean everything. And when you get a doctor that they do a very, very good technique with a root canal, an endodontist with a very high technique, I mean, the possibilities of having issues with that tooth are really, really low. But if you just get a regular dentist or someone, or well, I don't like to say regular dentist, I mean, it's like someone that is not really careful, takes very good care about doing the root canal, I mean, they're gonna leave some bacteria inside of your tooth. And then the filling that they're gonna put inside is gonna be contaminated, and then you're gonna have issues, and then you're gonna end up losing the problems. So I don't think that a root canal, it's not good to say it works, it doesn't work. I think it has to do more with who's performing the root canal at the end, just to know if it will be a success or not.
Well, that's then again the question that we have as consumers. How do I know, right?
Same thing, I mean, always, well, in our case, I mean, in our clinic, what we do is like, I mean, I now see you notice that, I mean, we are a group of specialists.
Yes.
So we have our endodontist, we have our prosthodontist, we have the maxillofacial surgeon, we have the periodontist, we have everything. So, I mean, we all go to dental school, but after that, in my case, I did 4 more years of study, to go with doing all the part that I do. So, and same thing with the endodontist. I mean, they finish dental school and then they do the specialty on endodontics. So that's what you need to feel. I mean, it's like just look for, you need to get information about who's going to perform. I mean, and don't feel bad about asking. I mean, are you an endodontist, or give me your credentials, or ask for something, because that's the way, I mean, to know that, I mean, you're paying for it, and you always have the, you're able to ask.
I think it's also a change of how you look at things. A few years back, there was like the doctors and whatever they say, you trust them, and there was no such thing as, let me think about it. And we didn't have the internet. Now it's so much easier to get all of that. So I totally get it. Definitely do your due diligence when you do any kind of work, dental, any kind of.
It's the diligence is one of the most important things.
Yes. So, wow, this was really, really interesting, and so much wonderful information that you gave. And I want to say one last thing, because what you mentioned was that you really look at the patient and see what really needs to get done. And I know you shared a story with me about a girl who came and was supposed to do all the surgery and all the crowns. And can you tell us?
Well, I mean, we get a lot of things. I mean, it's like, and this is actually, it's a patient of mine. I mean, this is the reason why I like to tell the story, because I mean, her mom and her dad both, her mom had implants, crowns, a huge work in her mouth. Her dad, after that, same thing like your case. I mean, she was the guinea pig, and then her husband just came over here to have the dental work done. And so Mike had his work done also. And she just called me, and she said, honestly, called me and she said, hey doctor, my daughter went to the doctor over here, and so they're telling me she has like, I don't know, it was like 18 cavities, some gum disease, some things. And I was like, but I mean, she's really young. And I mean, I remember. And she said, well, I mean, I have to pay an absurd amount of money over here. I really prefer to go and have it done over there. So she sent me the treatment plan over here. And based on the treatment plan, we just estimated everything to her. And she was saving like 80%, something like that, because there were like fillings or something. So she flew in, and we had the whole agenda book for 2 days for her and everything. And when she came, I just started checking her mouth, and everything was perfect. She didn't have any cavities. She didn't have anything over there. And so I just turned to her and I said, honestly, you're gonna have like 5 free days in Costa Rica to do some tourism. We only did a cleaning. So
Wow.
so I think what you have to learn over here at the end, it's if you have your doubts, it's better to say stop, don't do anything right now. I'm going to think about this, and then I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
And always ask for a second opinion. And even, I mean, it's like when you're doing medical tourism, I mean, it's like ask, I mean, try to look for different options. Try the possibility to talk to different doctors. Try to look for different treatment options. And at the end, I mean, sometimes we are not only the ones that have the whole truth about a treatment. I mean, sometimes if a doctor offers this, and then you say, well, they're offering me this, why are you offering me this? And somehow I might skip something and say, okay, maybe this doctor is right. And just say, well, maybe he's right. I mean, that's a possibility. Let's think about the other option or something like that. But always try to make that, I mean.
And I can so, I feel that, because when I got to my dentist and he looked and says, oh, that tooth is decayed and it needs to be pulled, and we need to, the only thing to save anything and you get your permanent teeth is to do implants. And so you as a patient at that moment are scared. And I said, oh my God, what can I do? And first of all, he said, oh, we're going to do 5 implants just in case one failed, so we still have 4. So that was his, so I can understand that. But when I saw that I could buy a sports car with that, and I mean, I was like, yes, do it. Luckily, there was an inheritance that we had. Not everybody got that, so I said, yes, I scheduled that. But then a friend told me, why don't you look into other options? And that's when I ended up with you guys, and I'm so glad that I did that. I saved half of it, right? And
you had your opportunity to visit Costa Rica.
And
well, maybe it was not the best week. I mean, just it was rainy season. Lots of.
But you know what? Here's the thing, and that's why I do this episode, because I want for people to know that there are other options and that they should not be afraid, and they just stop back. And I'm a very impulsive person, you know, I'm gonna, let's do it tomorrow. And I almost did that. But luckily they refunded my money because I put a stop to it. So I'm so glad, and I had the best time here. No. And I cannot say that, well, maybe not the best time after the surgery.
No, of course not.
Every time you have that, it took like 3 days where I didn't feel so well. But after all, I would do it again and again, because this is a short time where you quote unquote suffer, you don't feel good, because obviously there was like major things that were done in my mouth. But now I feel good. I know I have this. I don't have to get the removable dentures. I have everything, and I can smile again. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. I mean, for trusting us. You know, it's that's it. I mean, it's like at the end, and I think that's the that feeling. I mean, it's like when you get that feedback from the patients. And I mean, I really need to, I mean, because I know this is what you do. I mean, you do podcasts and everything, but I mean, open yourself to tell your story. It's maybe, I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it's something that I really need to thank you about doing this. But it's that thing. I mean, it's like, I think when you end every treatment, I mean, and then you get this feedback from patients, and after you go back, it's like, I get lots of comments. I mean, it's like several patients that they say, hey, doc, I mean, you have no idea. My sales, I mean, I'm a salesperson, and now they are higher. I mean, I sell much more now because I feel more confident.
Yeah.
Just getting that confidence back. I mean, just because, I mean, when you're a salesman and then you have to cover yourself because you don't feel fine about, I mean, you don't give everything.
Yeah.
And that extra mile. And I think that when you have this perfect smile, I mean, because at the end, the smile, it's part of your soul. It's like, I mean, you show that, and it's like people are looking for that.
Yes.
And sometimes people, they might get an idea, a wrong idea of yourself. I mean, if you have some problem teeth, and at the end, it might be not your problems. I'm telling you, it might be a medication, it might be something that you had before, but just giving this people the possibility of be able to smile back again, to give back that confidence, it's what it really worth. I mean, the work that we do.
Yes, and you wanted to be an architect, and now you changed through doing this.
Yeah.
But you are an architect. You are an architect of
smiles.
smiles.
Yeah, the smiles. An architect of smiles.
And
we're doing bridges. We're doing as an engineer. Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And as a communication and confidence coach,
Yeah.
I so understand what you just said. When you have the confidence, you perform better. Your sales goes up. You communicate with your clients better. So I totally get it. And so I think this was a very good bridge to end this conversation, saying, it's not just a health, which is huge, but also confidence, which is mental health.
It's mental health.
Everything. So everything has to do with your teeth. If
Yeah,
your teeth are good, everything
it's
else.
mental. I mean, it's like, just imagine going. I mean, I always said, just going to a restaurant and just having to think, what am I gonna eat? Because I'm not able to chew this.
Yeah.
I mean, just having that freedom of being able to choose and not think about what you're gonna eat or when you have to eat or something, it changes everything. I mean, because that way it's a huge. Something holds that. I mean,
totally. I mean, the first few months after my surgery, I was not allowed to eat hard things, just soft things. And when I went, what can I eat? No, soup.
Yeah,
So
and it was something for only a couple of months.
Yes.
But I mean, knowing that you have to, I mean, that's going to be the rest of your life. I mean, it's frustrating.
Yes.
And yeah, it's really, really.
You know what, Doc? I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that part, because of course, I was just thinking about how the looks, right?
Looks, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't think about that. My gosh. And this was just for a couple months, and I tell you, I was like, I told my husband, I cannot wait. One more week, then I get my permanent teeth, and I don't have to worry about things getting stuck. And so, thank you so much for what you do.
No, thank you.
I appreciate you, and thank you for sharing all your wisdom and knowledge.
For trusting us.
So, if you have one final word, what could that be?
I mean, be free. I mean, bite, eat.
Bite, eat.
And get everything, because then you smile. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's like, it's confidence, it's smile.
Yes, the smile.
Smile free.
And thank you for giving me my smile.
No,
back.
thank you. No, it was a pleasure having you as my patient.